Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and this time we're going to look at game number 11 in our 20 from 1992 series. This is a beautiful 3D polygon shoot 'em up created by a company called Aicom and Sammy, and housed in a Neo Geo SNK cabinet, and it's called Viewpoint. This game is brutally freaking hard, but it is still an absolute landmark title in the push to make beautiful 3D polygon graphics. This is in a 3/4 perspective, much like the Sega classic ZAXXON. But yeah, for 1992, this was beyond cutting edge. There would be 3D polygon games made later that were not remotely as impressive as this, like Virtua Fighter. They were trying. But this kind of looks like a Namco game to me. So I'm kind of surprised that they weren't involved in this. But we'll go ahead and get started in just a moment. You cannot play a two-player simultaneous play in this game, unfortunately. You have a fire button, and you can hold down that button to make a charged shot, a much stronger shot. And there is also a bomb button, and there are 3 different types of bombs that you can collect. And you can have more of the same in your stock. Another thing that's really impressive about this game is the soundtrack. The soundtrack of this game is really, really cool. Your ship can get another type of power-up that will have your typical option ships to the left and right of you. It was typical for shoot 'em ups of the era. Don't underestimate how much stronger the charged shot is. It's a lot stronger, and you'll notice against the bosses. Now on this first stage, make sure that you use a charged shot on that little spinner there to quickly open up that wall for you. If you run into that wall, you are dead. You can run into the left and right walls and not die. That's very important to remember, because sometimes there will be shots all over the place, or bosses that won't quite reach you when they try to shoot you there, or in that area. So make sure that you can hug that wall. There's very, very tight areas to get through on even this first stage. I totally missed that little craft on the right there. That is the type of craft that will give you a power-up. Sometimes they will just be laying out for you to collect. Sometimes you don't have to shoot enemies. But there is the pod option that I have now. There is also homing missiles as a bomb attack by pressing the second button. And there is a shield, there is a wave bomb, and that is also a bomb that you can use. And there is a fire bomb that you can use. Later on we'll see bonus point stars, and there is actually a rare 1-up you can collect. You can get an extra life at, I think, 50,000, and that might be it. We'll see later, but we come to our first boss. In the first boss can be tough if you're not patient. You have to be very patient. There will be times when there's kind of bullet hell, and we just saw 2 of my bombs, the fire bomb, or maybe that was the wave bomb, and the homing missiles. And those bombs can make short work of the bosses too. So maybe try to use a combination of your charged shot and your bombs. And there's the homing missiles I've got. You can have a maximum of 3. And you get them replenished if you lose a life. If you lose a life, you have to start back at the save point, and I think there's only 1 save point for each stage. That really sucks. And if you have to spend a continue, you have to go back to that save point. I think there are infinite continues. This stage I hate. You are instantly killed by those columns that rise and fall if you run into one. This shield is just good against bullets. It'll eventually dissipate once you take enough hits. There'll be a number of kind of almost mini bosses that take a whole lot of hits to destroy it. I just love the... There's an extra life at 50,000. I just love the polygon 3D graphics of this game. It's just impressive. Especially when it's like imitating like slugs or sea anemones or something. Just beautiful. But yeah, this game is really tough. In this area, you should generally be safe if you go perfectly between these holes. Oops. Yeah, see, you gotta start way back here. Fortunately, shortly after where you start, there should be an opportunity to get your pod options back. Yeah, other than the shot and the bomb button, you don't use button C or D on the control panel. I do not recall seeing this in arcades back in the day, but I definitely started hearing about it eventually from some gaming magazine, I believe. Now this mini-boss is kind of a pain. This has got these tortoises, and the second one will eventually start spinning around and scattering bullets. This game has sort of bullet hell feel at times. There's not a whole lot of room to maneuver around in between the bullets. And there I used, is that the wave bomb? I think that's the wave bomb. I think the one we saw that's like a wall of fire is the fire bomb. Yeah, collision with an enemy or its bullets is instant death. I love the look of this crab. This is really cool, but it is very hard. The battles can take super long with the bosses, and the crab shoots bubbles out of its mouth. You can destroy its claws, but it'll still shoot bubbles out of its mouth, and the bubbles, upon the first shot, will just break them down into small bubbles. So you can be firing like crazy, but they can still possibly reach you. It's best to just kind of sweep one way to draw them that direction and then start moving the other way. But firing like crazy, of course. Yeah, you'll hear a little sound effect when you're running your pods into the wall, but running all the way into the wall won't kill you. Going left and right. Yeah, those claws will attach on occasion, or detach on occasion, and try to smash into you. Note that you can use your pods to damage enemies. They will absorb the damage, and they cannot be destroyed. So little enemies you can just bash your pods into and kill them, or possibly bash those bubbles with them. It's not over. Now he's this flying creature that will shoot lasers at you. Now those lasers, his movement left to right is faster than your movement left to right. So don't think that you can outrun him and his shots. You are mostly safe on the far left here. But eventually his shots can get you. If you have the bombs, use them. You will eventually get the opportunity to get more bombs. And I think was that an extra life at 80,000? There is a definitive ending to this game. You don't start the game over after the end credits. This was ported to a number of home systems. I think PlayStation, Sega Genesis had a port, which I don't think I've played. It's probably not nearly as impressive as this one. Those tanks that we just saw that killed me when I tried to get through those gates, those are tough, and you really need to use a charge shot on them. But it's hard to get one through that gate, or squeeze one through when it's not closed. I kept thinking it kind of sounded like they were saying Tom Brady. I think they're saying, "Are you ready?" or something, or "You ready?" Tom Brady. Yeah, this soundtrack is just so darn cool. Something else that made me think it felt like a Namco game are those little red centered circular enemies that look like they were from Xevious. Such a hard frickin' game. Pretty much everybody that's played Viewpoint has said, yeah, this game's really frickin' hard. Here's the halfway point here. I love these 3D polygon bees. Yeah, just use one of my attacks, or bomb attacks, and like I said before, you can collect multiples of the same type of bomb. Katie. I'm not going to continue here, but I will show you at least snippets of the remainder of the levels, and there are 6 of them. One of the stages has like a whole bunch of earlier boss fights rehashed with weaker bosses that time around. And here I put on invincibility, just so I could beat the game quicker. And I think I also put on infinite bombs at some point. But we'll see, like I said, snippets of the rest of the game. Yeah, I don't recall coming across this in arcades back in the day, but I had heard about it when I started collecting Neo Geo MVS games on eBay. I was looking to get Viewpoint. Unfortunately, the few times that I ever saw it on eBay, they wanted like 500 or more bucks for it. I was like, no. I think the most I spent was like 200 to 300, and I think I got Neo Dodgeball I have about 18 Neo Geo arcade games. My Neo Geo cabinet doesn't work right now. I love this moth here. Beautiful. I imagine that's supposed to be a moth. It's got this protective worm or a caterpillar that moves around it. Just such a cool. I don't know, what would you call this? Hip hop soundtrack. But once you destroy its head, then it turns around and shoots bullets out of its tail. A couple homing orbs. You can kind of lure off screen, I think. But yeah, instances of mild bullet hell. I'll do a little charge attack. Oops. Yeah, you can only hit his head. You can't shoot his tail. I mean, it won't hurt it. And there we go. You get bonus points after clearing a stage. I'm not sure what determines how many bonus points you get because they're kind of odd numbers sometimes. And there's a star, and the star has a pretty wide range of points that you can get from it. You can get something measly like 500, or you could get like I think it was like 50,000 or something that you can get. And again, those tanks take a long time to bring down, so if you don't have a whole lot of time to spend on them, then do a charge shot. That time I got some more points from collecting that star. Yeah, I was just blown away when I first saw pictures of this in this is probably Electronic Gaming Monthly. There are a number of great gaming magazines back in the day. Of course, one of the ones I remember best was Nintendo Power, but there were gaming magazines, of course, way before that. For those of you that love the Neo Geo, and there's probably a whole lot of you out there, if it behooves you, check out, there's a website called Atari Age, and there's a specific Neo Geo thread on there that's got all sorts of goodies, all sorts of cool articles, run by my friend Anthony, or Charlie Cat. Check it out. And then this is not really a boss. You can't destroy this. This is just a series of vehicles that try to close in on you and crush you, which is, of course, instant death. And here is a boss here that's just multiple faces. And when you finally destroy one face, it'll rotate and have another face that you need to destroy. This first boss bounces off the walls, and then it comes back towards you, bouncing off walls at a stronger angle. You have to watch out. But you can only hurt it when its mouth is open. And we'll just scoot forward to me destroying the faces in just a moment here. Yeah, it does the bouncing thing again. Yeah, your timing has to be good. There, it's got one face destroyed, so it rotates to the healthy faces one at a time. Sometimes the face will release some enemies out of its mouth, and sometimes it'll just shoot you. But Yeah, these boss battles can take a really freaking long time, so you have to be really patient. I don't remember. There might be a dip switch or something in the game that allows you to make it easier. That's what it's like when you destroy all the faces. And again, there are 6 stages. This stage is the one that has all those boss fights from previous stages. These worms that come out of the lava make me think of Cheetos curls. I've always loved Cheetos. I just don't eat them very much anymore, just because they got so much powder that get all over your fingers. It makes a total mess. But they are so tasty. There's some very good variants of those, of Cheetos. One of them was Herr's, H-E-R-R''S. Cheese curls, they had like a tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwich flavor. It's outstanding. I'm starting to get hungry, obviously. Yeah, more previous bosses. The crab monster. You'll go through a little bit of the lava stage. Ooh, that was nice. That was, what, 33,100 points for that star? And there's Mr. Moth again, who turns his butt around to you and poops bullets out of his tail. Scoot forward to me beating him. Excuse me, sorry. Oftentimes, if I'm sitting in a chair for an extended amount of time, I start to get a little tired. I've got to go to work in a little bit, so better shake it off. Let's just scoot forward to me beating this stupid multi-face boss. Yeah, it'd be nice if you were able to have a lot more than 3 bomb attacks at a time. And again, the bomb attacks are homing missiles, wave bomb, and fire bomb. And here is the boss that we haven't seen yet. And his little tire things come off, and they spit bullets at you. This guy has a big cannon that fires giant lasers at you. Definitely want to get the hell out of the way, because even with a shield on, you are going to be toast if a laser hits you. Yeah, even in between like your charged shots, still wail on the fire button. Just get as many bullets in the air as you can. I like those little droid type of robots that move around on their legs. Kind of cute. There's another star. Ooh, was that 81,000 something? Very random numbers. I don't know what the computation is or whatever to get those point values. And I don't know what the significance of that is pushing that little orb with your shots. I don't think you can direct it into anything particular that helps you. There's homing missiles being guarded by those boulders. Yeah, there will be a golden orb on this stage that is worth a free life. I don't think I've passed it yet. I think it might be coming up here. There it is. Yeah, it's an extra life. Yep. And I think that is the only instance where you can get an extra life apart from getting it through a certain score values. Yeah, this really feels like a Namco game to me. I mean, just something about the gameplay, graphics, scoring font. And Namco was getting into with the 3D polygon graphics kick, like with Starblade. I'm not sure what kind of bug this is supposed to be, but you can destroy its legs. And eventually, it will become this this craft here with multi-colored gems on it. That particular range of colors makes me think of those old color pens that you could like click a button and it would rotate to a different color of ink. I used to really like those. I guess they still make them. Yeah, it's not over. Now you have to deal with this weird critter here. I just love the soundtrack. It's just unbelievable. Plus, of course, the beautiful 3D polygons. Yeah, once you beat this boss, then you'll see the ending sequence. Nothing super special, but it'll show the credits and the enemy planet blowing up. Like I said earlier, this is not a two-player simultaneous play game, unfortunately. It's alternating turns. Well, that was Viewpoint, created by a company called Aicom and Sammy, which was also known, I guess, as American Sammy, or maybe that was just the US distributed Sammy games. And SNK for use in their Neo Geo arcade cabinet, or Neo Geo MVS is the name for the arcade games, and AES was the name for the home system Neo Geo games. I have both arcade and home system, and I would like to try to get my hand on some more AES games. And if you play an AES game, you can save it on a memory card and then resume it on the arcade machine. There's a little slot for the card. Really a cool idea for its time. But this was Viewpoint. And like I said, I saw this on eBay, but people wanted way too much for it. I might be able to afford it if I go to a gaming convention, which I should do this year. We get one in Portland every year around October. It's pretty cheap, and they've got free arcade machines, a whole bunch of them, a whole bunch of classic stuff. But that is Viewpoint, and yeah, we'll take a brief look at how it's alternating play if you play two-player mode. And yeah, we put in initials here. Giggity. Like Quagmire from Family Guy. I like how the initials in the high score list are days of the week. I don't know if you noticed. Yeah, well, I'll let myself die so you can see how a two-player simultaneous play isn't featured in this game, unfortunately. It's just alternating. You can't take an enemy out with your explosion, which sucks. 1, 2, 3, 4, hit. He just says hit, not hit it. But that is Viewpoint, game number 11 in our 20 from 1992 series. Well, I thank you for watching. I hope you join me soon for game number 10 and our second time capsule. See you then, folks. Bye-bye.